Okay, so I'm having to get a little creative today from the car. This is actually kind of humorous. All right, guys, we're talking about faith and strategy, how to market without compromising your values. Hot topic, right? Does anybody agree? Drop a 1 in the chat if you agree that we are in the middle of a faith movement like you've never seen before. I am personally seeing a movement of faith like never before. Drop a 1 in the chat if you agree. And y'all just bear with me as I try to use all this tech from the car. This is not a normal scenario for me, but I scheduled all these lives around my existing life that was already in the calendar, as opposed to the opposite, where you normally schedule your life around your work. But, we're adding in some new tools to my business, and this is one of them. So welcome. If you're here, drop your name in the chat and tell me where you're from so I know where you're tuning in from. I am so excited to be here with you guys. If you're watching a replay, do the same thing. Tell me where you're tuning in from. Drop your name in the chat. If you're over here on this platform here, I wanted to let you know I'll drop a QR code. Actually, there is one there for you right now. Use that at your convenience to grab the free gift that I'll talk about at the end. We are going to talk briefly about blending faith and business and how God called me personally to merge the two. Okay. I am 20 years in as an entrepreneur. Loved all the different ventures I was able to lead myself, but also the ones that I was able to participate in for other people. I really love business startups. It's like one of my favorite things to do is to help bring something off the ground and launch it. It's just exciting. It's invigorating. But after becoming a mother, God called me to start doing something a little bit more personal. And I said, no. I said, no, I'm not going back to work, God. You made me a mom, and I know that's what you want me to do, but he kept laying these opportunities in my lap. So eventually, I was like, okay, God, I hear you. I hear you. You are calling me to step forward in obedience, regardless of me knowing what the future looks like. But you know how I am. I will take off and I will pour all my time and attention into this. And so I'm going to need you to please rein me in, like partner with me as my CEO. To be quite honest, that was something I asked from him before I'd ever heard of anybody else talking to him that way and talking about doing business that way. So I know that that is something he put on the hearts and the minds of his people, and that it was from him and not of me. But I said, God, I will partner with you in business, but please be my CEO and make all the hard decisions for me. When I'm not sure if a job is from you or for you, I need you to show me and guide me. So Holy Spirit, please show up in my business every day. And I've been partnering with him since 2018. So drop a 1 in the chat if you're here and you're also partnered with God in your business. Have you merged faith and business together? Drop a 1 in the chat if that's you. So real quick, I'm Tiffanie Teel. I'm going to jump into a conversation with you about business and faith and strategy. All right. If you're over here joining me on this platform live, I appreciate you bearing with me as I get these technical glitches taken care of. Yesterday, I went live on a different platform. I'm doing 2 simultaneously. And I hope that it is benefiting you guys. I'm doing it for you. I want to show up and share with you the messages that God has given me when it comes to faith and doing business. And I want to share my journey so that if anyone else is taking the same journey or considering the same journey, I want you to join me in partnering with God for that, because it is not it's not irrelevant, when that's been put on your mind. I'm new to going live on this platform here. So if you're over here with me and you're sticking around, I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to see that I've got some interaction going on and that I'm bringing you some valuable information. I don't know if I can invite folks or not, but I'd really love, to make your time valued. So I guess I'll just keep going. All right. So back in 2018, God started, putting it on my heart that I have some time freedom now that my kid's in school. Let's get to business, he said. He said, I've got something on your heart. I'm equipping you for that, and I'm going to lead you if you'll just follow me. So it was something that I said no to. And then I finally I said, okay, Lord, you're calling me. So my question for you today is, what if your marketing could actually be a ministry without being weird or feeling forced? If that was an option, would that be something you'd choose? Drop a 1 in the chat right now if you would love for your marketing to feel like a ministry. Would it feel like it has more purpose than just trying to impact your income and your bank account? So I've tried to jump online and market for my business over and over through the years, and I've showed up and I've walked away. I've showed up and I've walked away. And part of that reason is because it felt icky. I didn't understand how to talk about faith and business together, even though I was in business with God. I'm a web designer, a brand developer, and I didn't know how to come to market with that and share my services with people without it sounding like I was begging for them to do business with me, right? And I didn't know how to make my faith a part of that and it feel authentic and comfortable. But when I surrendered to the fact that people do business with me because they connect with me, and I started opening up and sharing a little bit more vulnerably to my journey and what God has taught me and showed me, and the way I used to live versus how I live now, those things are what I had to surrender, and it shifted my approach. And now, instead of striving for more, I am showing up with a servant's heart. And I believe that that's one of the first steps that we can take in merging faith and business. Will you drop a 2 in the chat real quick if that resonates with you? Showing up with a servant's heart is one of the first ways that we can merge our faith and our business together. Okay, let's move on into talking about marketing that is rooted in biblical truth. Marketing with biblical truth. It will help you lead with integrity. And what does that mean? It just means that you aren't here to chase trends. You aren't here to share something that's not real or accurate, right? We're not trying to paint pictures that aren't solid and like realistic. Instead, we're showing up with honesty, integrity, with the goal of impacting others' lives as opposed to impacting ourselves. And when you continue to show up like that, we have purpose. Purpose creates passion. It creates motivation. It creates an impact on the lives of others. Okay, if you are faith-based, what does that do to your offer? If you want to be faith-forward and you want to filter all of your offers through faith, what does that look like for your offer and for your messaging and for your partnerships? I've got a new goal. I don't know what that means. If you guys, we can do that, but I don't know. I'll turn this on over here on this platform right here, but I don't really know what that is. So if in fact you want to help me with any of these up top, I think it's going to help with my exposure. So I'm going to turn that on, but I don't really know what it means. So thanks for showing up. And if you want to send me a rose, I'll gladly accept. Okay, we're talking about filtering our offers through faith. Okay, so if we are going to filter those offers and our messaging and our partners through our faith, what does that change? So for me, it means that I'm not hiding my faith voice when I speak. I'm faith forward. I'm not hiding that. And it means that I am making sure that all of my offers are fair, they're clear, and they are a win-win. I'm not just looking to benefit my pocket, but rather I'm looking to make sure that both parties involved are walking away with something that is of value and at a fair price. Does that make sense? And then in my partnerships, I'm making sure that I have a shared mission, vision, and faith with the people that I partner with, as opposed to not caring. What does it look like if I'm partnered with somebody who doesn't lead with high integrity? Can you drop a big old 5 in the chat if that looks poor and doesn't speak highly of me? Yeah, drop a 5 in the chat if that's what you mean. Okay, now let's move on and talk a little bit about conviction versus comparison. When we get online to build our digital presence, why would we do that? Do we do that just because we want the title of digital marketer? Okay, I'm not chasing a rabbit here. I'm going to paint a picture and make a point. Do you need to add the title to your resume? What title? Digital marketer. So are you a digital marketer? Yes or no? Drop a yes or a no in the chat if you're in digital marketing. If you are just showing up every day to call yourself a digital marketer because it's one of the highest paying industries available right now, and who doesn't want a piece of that, right? But are you showing up just to add that title to your resume? What is digital marketing? Digital marketing is when you market anything through a digital platform, whether it's a digital product or a digital or a physical like a service, a product. The product could be physical. It could be, let me put my do not disturb on. All the things I'm learning about being live. And y'all are so precious to be bearing with me. So, I think I see do I see a Kelly on here? Is that my Kelly? Kelly Williams? Okay. We are talking about conviction over comparison. And I said I wasn't chasing a rabbit, that I was trying to paint a picture, and then I got all squirrely on you. And maybe I did chase a little bit of a rabbit, but it wasn't the same one I said I wasn't going to chase. The point that I was trying to make about digital marketing is that it's easy to jump online to want to market your business, your product, and your service, to catch wind of all these distractions that are available online and start comparing yourself. There are so many trends going on. There are so many business opportunities available online that are all going to come at you like a rocket. And as soon as you use the term digital marketing, all the different programs are in your face. Thank you for the invite. I have been invited to co-host with 2 other creators, but I don't know about that right now, so we're going to decline. Thank you for the invite, though. So the distractions are real, and that was just an example right there. I was invited into another live with multiple creators to jump in on that, and it distracted me from the message that I'm trying to share here today. And it would have been a lot of fun to go do that with them. But we have to be really careful not to get distracted from our purpose and our goal. Okay. So instead of comparing the results that we are getting, it's important that we stay focused on the purpose and the goal of why we're here in the first place. So we have to show up with conviction. My conviction currently is that I am here. I'm trying to get that shadow off my face over here. I've got the sun shining on me bright. There we go. This little shadow right here on that other screen is pretty ridiculous. So I'm just trying to clear that up. It's just important, guys, for us to stay laser focused. Again, why am I here? I'm here because I am sure that I was called to help other women merge faith and business, and to do that online, to create an income for their family without having to go back to a 9-to-5. That mission has not changed from the time that God put it in my heart. And I don't know if he is still just preparing me for a bigger platform or a better way to help women do that. But in the meantime, I'm just going to say, God, prepare me. And I'm going to continue showing up right here, learning every day something that I didn't know yesterday, striving to be 1% better every day. Really, I'll be honest with you, I'm a high achiever. I'm striving for to be 100% better every day. But we're going to just hope that we improve 1% better every single day. And so I know for me and my family, one of the things that would make me better today than yesterday would be to get my income earning activities done before my son gets home from school, so that when he comes and gets in the car with me at the end of the day, I'm done with work and I can focus on him. His little heart is getting pulled in 100 different directions, and he needs my time and attention. And that is where I know I'm supposed to be. Yet because the income that I need to support my family isn't coming in the way that I've set my business up to produce income, I'm having to revert to new methods, and I'm learning new skills in order to stretch myself. And that mom guilt that grabs a hold of my heart when he says, Mom, I said, and he's like, I said something 5 times and you didn't answer me. And it's because my mind is somewhere else. I'm distracted. I'm distracted from the bills that are coming in that I don't have the money to pay. And I'm distracted from the fact that my family and I aren't talking about that openly. And it's very stressful. And I just need to close that gap, right? I need to close that gap so that I can get back to what God called me to do, which is to serve him well when he's with me and to serve you well when I'm with you. And one of the things that's distracting me right now, it's not comparison. Yes, that evil thought sneaks in every now and then because I've seen other people jump into digital marketing and be successful overnight. Sure, I have a digital marketing product that I can sell you that's going to train and educate you, and it's also going to set you up with a business in a box so that you can get into business through digital marketing overnight. I can do that for you, and that's super exciting. But guess what? I have an entire product that I've poured my heart and soul into over the past 18 months that does all the same things, except for these few digital marketing tips that are going to, not even a few, y'all. This program is full of amazing content. But the program that I've developed over the past 18 months, and I'm not trying to compare the two, there's going to be some people that come in to this conversation with me who are at a different stage than the other person. So I've got something that can help both. And I'm not even trying to turn this into a conversation about my products, really. I just want to explain that if we can just come together in this conversation and continue to search for our peace, instead of working through pressure, it just feels so much more authentic. Pressure is a thief. Do you agree? If you agree that pressure is a thief, will you just drop a 1 in the chat? Y'all are getting y'all are getting some real Tiffany today. I'm pretty good at separating emotion and knowing how to show up professionally. But y'all, we got on a topic today. And again, it was the Holy Spirit. It wasn't me. When I sit down to iron out these topics for the week, I'm just listening and I'm trying to be obedient. And I know the Lord is preparing me for something greater and that my time will come, because I've known for a long time that he has made me for more. He's made me for something great. And the thing that I have to try to remember is that thing, that greatness that he's created me for right now, part of it is motherhood. Part of it is motherhood. And I want to be able to do that stress-free. I don't want to have to worry about whether the finances are in the bank account when a bill is due. Can you resonate with that? Have you ever felt the same way? So let's seek peace to get out from underneath the pressure. What are some practical ways that we can do that and let our content become ministry, encouragement, truth, and invitation? I think it just all boils down to showing up as yourself. And if you're a Christian and you are a woman of faith or a man of faith, if you happen to be here listening to me, sorry, this itches, but if that's you, and I just want to encourage you to show up as yourself and not to hide anything that you believe to be true. Stick to the facts, stick to the truth, show up with conviction, and show up authentically as yourself. I'm sorry if this felt like this was all about me today, but I pray that my story and my message will change someone else's life the way that it has mine. Show up when you market, right? When you market from your convictions instead of from your comfort zone, your message carries authority and peace, and you attract the people who are called, right? Who you're called to serve, not just the curious ones. I talked a little bit about a program that I developed. I also talked a little bit about a program that filled in a gap. So let me clarify that for you right quick. Last year, I launched the Divine Purpose Academy. This academy takes women through phase 1 of discovering their purpose. What has God called you to do, and how has He designed you? What is the divine calling on your life? Okay, we call that purpose. And then through that, we seek freedom through knowing God. We discover that purpose, and then we turn around and we want to make an impact. Okay, if you are called to make an impact through business, we walk through what it looks like to do faith and business, to merge faith and business. And from there, we start launching. I take you through all the steps that it takes to launch a business. I am excited to help those who want to build online because it's where my passion is. Online is like one of the closest things to tech that I can do because I grew up through tech and IT and stepped away from that corporate job 20 years ago already. And so branding and design and web design, those are the closest things to tech that I still have my hands on. But being online is still technical. So many people don't actually know a lot of the tech and know how to sort that out. And it's something that I just kind of a little bit of a geek about and love to do. So I teach everybody in the Divine Purpose Academy how to get online and how to do it effectively, efficiently, and what's important versus what's not. How to weed out the distractions, how to avoid the mistakes that I've made through the years. Here's where the digital marketing blueprint comes into play. I wasn't showing up online for my business to attract people into my academy. It was the first evergreen product that I had produced. And while now it feels like I'm learning things and doing things a little bit backwards, here's what I'll say. It's all a part of my story. God called me to open that academy and I did it. Now He has shown me you need to help other people earn while they learn, and you need to show them that they can actually build an income online without the stress of trying to build a brick and mortar, without the stress of trying to carry the weight of the world on their shoulders by starting something new when it could be done simply in just a few hours a day so that they can stay focused on their family. But there's many of us who have been called to more than just building online. Okay. But here's the thing I can tell you. Every single business needs an online presence because that is just the way of the world. And that's how we market now. The yellow pages are long gone. Those are history. Most of you that are showing up here don't even know what the yellow pages were or are. I don't know that they still exist, but maybe they still exist. I'm unsure. So the digital marketing blueprint was that answer I didn't know I needed, but it is filling the gaps in the academy that I'm already building out over there. It's teaching me skills and steps that are necessary to market any type of business. And I'm just really excited to say that now I just have another source of income. So I'm tackling those needs and that pressure that I have head on. I'm being obedient. And I know God is going to bless me and my family for it. And if that's something that you're looking for as well, I want to encourage you to jump in. It's never too soon and it's never too late. The door is always open. So if you feel called to start marketing with peace and purpose for your business or for a new stream of income, either way, comment called in the comments. Okay. If you're over here, drop called in the comments. If you're watching the replay, that's good too. Comment called. I'm going to send you the free 2-hour work print blueprint. Boy, I'm hung up. The free 2-hour workday blueprint. There we go. When you drop called in the comments. If you're over here, there's a QR code right up here. You can just scan that or you can drop called in the comments and I'll send it over to you. Okay. Marketing can be a ministry when it is led by the Spirit and not the algorithm. And that's what I'm going to leave you with today. So I appreciate you joining me and taking even out a few minutes of your time out to be with me here today. I hope this has encouraged you. And I'll be back again tomorrow. I want to say tomorrow's call is going to be at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. So I hope to see you then. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.